Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be doing the last part of the build of Shipment 8 on the Titanic. And to do this, you're going to need your officer's quarters. That's one thing you're going to need. Set that to the side. You're going to need your gymnasium and grand staircase entrance. You're going to need your boat deck that we've been working on. And then you're going to need issue 44, which is this deck right here. I've already got the wood glued down and out of the way. But you're going to need that. You're going to need glue. And you're also going to need your screwdriver set. So let me go ahead and get this Tears of the Kingdom mat down. Lay this down here. And then you're also going to need your issue 34 box. So let me make sure I've gotten everything. That's everything. We're going to need our issue 44 book. Going to need the book. And then I'm going to grab my tweezers, my ESD17 tweezers. So, got my ESD17 tweezers. And then I'm going to turn to the page that has the instructions. And begin from there. Alright. Central section of the boat deck. Step 1. Take the central section of the boat deck, 44B, and the decking 44A and 44C. Check the fit and then, working on one side at a time, remove the backing paper and stick the decking in place, ensuring that all the holes are aligned. So that would be your step 1. And that would be basically putting down these wooden decks down to the piece, which we've already gotten done. I basically Gorilla wood glued mine on. And then we're going to go to step 2. Step 2. Take the forward section of the boat deck from the previous issue, taking care not to damage any of the parts that have been assembled. Turn the deck sections upside down. Fit the tabs with screw holes on the aft end of deck section 41A over the raised screw sockets on the forward end of deck section 44B. Blue arrows. Top. Fix in place with 2 AP screws circled above right. I apologize if you all hear scratching. My cat's basically scratching on the door of my room, trying to get into my room right now. So, sorry about that. 44B, blue arrows, top, fix in place with 2 AP screws circled above right. And then down here about below it, to straighten the assembly, take the 2 connecting plates, 44D, and glue them in place in the recess across the joint above and right. So I'm going to build mine a bit differently. Instead of putting the screws in right now, I'm going to put those little recess pieces in. And I'm going to explain why I'm doing this. So, getting in here, I'm going to need that little packet. And I'm going to need these 2 screw packets out. That was all that was left in my box. So in this little packet is what we're going to be using the glue for. We have these 2 little metal pieces. Trixie, please stop scratching on my door. Sorry, y'all. My cat. I'll just let her scratch in an oar. I don't need her in here right now while I'm doing this work. Alrighty. So I'm going to figure out this. How these fit together. Because I'm going to make it to where I can remove this. That way it'll make it easier putting things on later. So these 2 sections go together. And it goes together from this end right here. So what I can do is put the 2 brackets on this piece right here. So taking one of the brackets, flipping it over, holding it in my hand, I'm going to glue one of the brackets to there, but not gluing the other side of the bracket just yet. That's how I'm going to do this. So let me set that back down. Let me grab my Loctite Ultra Gel Control Super Glue. And then I'm going to apply the glue to basically around here, back there a bit. Get this glue on here, like so. And then I'm going to set the metal bracket in place over the spots where I glued. Making sure that there ain't no glue on my hands, because I don't need to touch the wooden deck and stain it with glue. So, that's one glued on. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And what this is going to allow me to do, if I glue one side and don't glue the other side just yet, I can basically unscrew the deck and get it back off. So that way when I'm working on the next section of the deck, I won't have to worry about knocking pieces off. Which I would highly suggest doing it this route. Because later on you will come to a point where there'll be parts on here. And you'll run the risk of knocking them off. So, making sure these are fully inserted on. Alright. And then when I flip it over, you can see these 2 metal bracket pieces are like that. Now what this is going to allow me to do is I'm going to put this on here. And then it will align in them bracket pieces. And then later on I can unscrew this and then take this piece off. I can set this piece to the side when it's got all of its detail on it later on. And then when I'm working on this section of the deck, I can just basically keep them in sections, apply the parts. And then once the parts are applied, I can then refasten them back together. I think this is the smartest way to do this, but I do know for a fact when it gets to about right here, when the other section joins here, there's a slot here. And it looks like there's going to be a circuit board going in the middle. So this one, I won't be able to unseparate just like that one is I'm doing there. But we'll come to that when we get to this. This will be coming all in the next shipment. I don't have this shipment yet. So this will all be coming next month. But that's what I'm going to be doing with mine. So I've got those 2 metal brackets glued on. They're ready to receive the deck piece. So now I need to get a hold of 2 AP screws. And I need to get my screwdriver set out. So same thing as usual. We're going with pH1. pH1. And then getting my screwdriver out. Setting this over here to the side. I'm going to grab the AP screw bag. And then I'm going to fight with getting the screw bag open. Okay, I got it. So I'm only going to need 2 screws out here. And I grab the 2, leave the 1 in the bag. I'm going to load one of the screws up into my screwdriver. And then I'm going to set this to the side. Now I'm going to take this deck piece. I'm going to tip this on its side. Taking care not to damage anything. I'm going to insert this deck piece on to the screw sockets, making sure that those metal brackets go into the recesses that they need to. Just like so, which they have. So now I'm going to insert 1 screw in place to hold it on. Just bear with me here. This screw wants to try to put up a fight. Okay. That's 1 screw holding it on. Now I'm going to insert the 2nd screw. Come on. Just fighting with it a little bit. There. Making sure that those are in the recesses, which they are. You can see they're in the recesses. And one side is glued on, one side ain't. But let me pick you up here because this is getting so big. But you can see now these 2 sections are combined together. And I know in next shipment it's going to start us off up here at the top. So when I go to put these wooden deck pieces on, I will unscrew this back section back here. Get all the front of this taken care of. Once all the front's taken care of, before we screw these 2 pieces back together, I'll also get the details on this one. Then I will put them both together when they got their details. That's the reason why I'm doing this, so I can take them apart and then reconnect them later. But those are those 2 sections right there now put together and complete. So I'm going to set this over to the side. That thing is getting long. And now I'm going to grab my booklet. And then we are now on the last page. This one's a really short one. Okay. So, let me grab my tweezers. Step 3. take the two superstructure sections from issue 22, join the officers' quarters 14G to the stairwell superstructure 16E using 2 GP screws as shown below. You will have to turn the parts on their sides to fix them together, so take care not to damage the assembly. So that's when we will need the officers' quarters and the grand staircase stairwell. So closing up this bag with the last AP screw, I'm going to grab the bag now that has the GP screws. I'm going to go ahead and fight and get this bag open. So just hang on here a minute while I fight with the bag. Come on. It's always got to be stubborn. These bags can be a pain when they want to be. But we'll get it. Okay, I got a hold of it, opening it now. Best way to get one of them bags open is to use a pair of tweezers to grip one side. Alright, now I'm going to get 2 screws out of here. Which it has grabbed 2, so I'm going to set them right there. And then these 2 things right here are going to connect together by this point right here. This point is going to slide into this recess right here, because when you flip it over, you can see you have 2 screw sockets right there. Move this cord out of the way. When you see those 2 screw sockets, these 2 will align like that. They will align like that and then go in place. So that's what we're working on doing here now. So I probably should have loaded up a screw before holding this thing. So let me see if I can set the screw down here and then get the screwdriver in it. Yeah. And I'm going to insert the first screw. I am holding this thing in the air too. I am not setting it down on no flat surface or setting it on the side like it said. I am literally holding this thing in the air. That's one end. I mean, you can see in my hand, it's not touching the ground. Now that we got one side in, we're going to go ahead and load up the screw on the other one. Getting it in there. And then we are going to insert the last screw. Just like that. And then when I turn it over, you can see we are now connected together. So those 2 parts have now been joined together, which is awesome. Let me check these masking tape I got down here. Press that back down. Alright. And then the completed work. Completed work. The forward section of the boat deck has been fixed to the central section and two sections of the superstructure have been joined together. That is our completed work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this stuff situated, and we're going to look at how all this looks so far put together. So let me move the mouse over here. Let me set this boat section down here. Let me get this situated. Get that cord out of that area. I need to prop up this back piece right here, so hang on a minute. I gotta get something to prop up back there. Use this box that the parts came in. Then I'm going to insert this big piece, taking care not to damage any parts, which it is uneven. So hang on a minute here, y'all. I gotta really work with this. I'll get it set up. Just hang on. Everything is unleveled right now. I gotta move a whole lot of stuff to make this work. Move one thing, so many other things are in the way. Just about got it. Moving that. That looks about even. Now we're going to take these two sections, trying not to catch that. That cord's being a pain with me right now. Okay. So, yeah. Alright. Here we go right here. Here is the work that we have done so far. You can see where this right here is where the compass tower will eventually be mounted. We don't have that piece yet. And then the third funnel will be mounted on top of this. We don't have that piece yet. But you can see here, it's growing, and we don't have these deck pieces yet. We will get these in the next shipment, and then this will have some decking on it. But this is my progress work on my build of the Titanic so far. Get it from back here. Now I'll get you down in the captain's cabin area and all that. You can see all that detail that's in there. And then I'm going to also get this situated. I'm going to do one more thing, which I probably should have done that too in the first place, but just bear with me here. I got to get the pieces. Going to get this envelope, and I'm going to get these two little sections of the roof. I'm not really going to insert them right now. This is just, you know, going to be a dry fit test. Looking at how these go. No, turns around, my bad. Okay, so these two little pegs are going to snap into that place right there. And then this is going to set. This is just dryly fitted. This is not fully pressed down. I ain't fully pressing it down because I don't want to get it stuck. But, there. That's how this is going to look. And I'm pretty sure from the way it looks, the way it snaps, this is going to be left to where you can remove these two pieces if you wanted to look in there. So, say if I wanted to see the boat bridge, I would pull this off, and then I could see in there. Or if I wanted to see into the captain's area, I can pull this off, and then I can see in there. But you can see, these are built to snap in. There's the pegs. They're built to snap in. They won't be glued in. So that's what that's for, is to snap it in place. But that is the completed work that I have done so far on my Titanic. This is literally the completed work. Here's my hand. And there's the top of the ship. So, yeah. And then over here is the rest of our pieces in the aquarium. So this is how far we've got done on Titanic so far. I can't really show you what we'll be going over next month, because I don't have the shipment yet. The best that I can do there is to go back at the beginning of issue 44 and show you a preview. Basically, our next issue will be in issue 45. Lifeboats, blocks, tarpaulins, winch, davits, and decking. That's what we'll be doing in 45. But that won't be until we get our shipment 9. Shipment 9 is going to get us from 45 up to 50. But that's going to do it for this video. You all have a blessed one. And then when I come back, we'll be going over some more McDonald's figures that I finally found. Sorry it took me a while, but I finally found some more McDonald's figures. I know I have the Inspector Gadget McDonald's toy, but for some reason he's missing right now. I can't find him, but if I find him later on, we'll go over him later on. But I do have the complete Inspector Gadget. He's just somewhere. I misplaced him. But once I find him, we'll go over him. But the next video, we'll be going over my last remaining McDonald's toys that I have found so far. And then after that, we'll be going over some different toys. I'm thinking about maybe going over my Ben 10 toys after the McDonald's. Not sure yet. But yeah. Until then, you all have a blessed one. And I will catch you guys in my next one. And goodbye.